Welcome back to the Buffalo Sessions. And I've got a first time. Is it first time for you on this show, Gillian?
It is, yep.
First time guest, but not even a guest. I feel like Gillian's doing a bit of a takeover today because she's going to be asking me questions. I've I've known Gillian for 3.5 years now.
Yeah.
Nearly 3.5 years. It's fair to say that she's the person that calls me out, that kicks my ass, that keeps me on track. And she's been involved in
Yep.
circle networks and never wanted to get involved at the start. I'm already in another network, Jamie. I don't need to be in another one. And I persevered and helped her and supported her. And it's been quite a good relationship, hasn't it?
Very good. Yes.
So
Yep.
before
Good
before
move.
we get into what we're doing, how has circle networks helped you?
Oh, just immensely in so many different ways. I would say 90% of the business I can trace back to Circle Networks. Um, but so much more than that. I think I was quite lonely before I started my business. I've moved around quite a lot. I never quite found my tribe, never quite felt like I fitted in anywhere. And I've definitely found my tribe in Circle Networks. I've made some amazing friends. I feel like I've got a huge network of people that I can call on for whatever I need, whether it's a rant, a cry, or something slightly more business related. So yeah, it's definitely helped me grow my business, shaped me as a business owner. Yeah, it's been fab. That's why I'm still here.
So weird that you mentioned loneliness then, because you probably don't know, but next week is National Loneliness Week.
Okay.
So we did a bit about it last year, and I'm going to be talking about it on my social media and at some events next week. And running a business is quite a lonely place, and
Yeah,
I guess that's a good segue into what we're talking about today, isn't it?
definitely.
Go on,
Yes.
I'll let you start.
Okay, well, first of all, Jamie, you talk about this a lot, so I want you to tell me, why is networking broken?
Okay, I think one of the things that I've struggled with since I started Circle Networks is being compared to something else. I think we naturally do this. We want to put people in a box. We want to pigeonhole people and things. And I like to be a little bit different. You might have realized that working with me over the last few years. I think that people are stuck in the networking trap. And if I just explain that, I was talking about this morning. When we start our business or when we want to grow our business and we're looking for clients, people will say, "Oh, you need to go networking." You're looking for clients, go networking. There's an implied message there that go networking to get clients. You
Yeah.
take it a step further, go networking and sell to the room. There'll be a room full of people that you can pitch to. And that's where I think it's a little bit broken because nobody, everyone's going to sell, but no one's going to buy. So let me say that again. Everyone goes networking to sell. And if you're listening to this, you'll probably say, no, I'm not. But my experience of this is that people say to me, well, I didn't sell anything. That's the reason that they leave networks. It's the reason that they leave another network to join ours. And it's the reason that they leave Circle Networks to go and do something else. So people do. And there's nothing wrong with that as a tactic. But I don't think that that's the right way to leverage a network. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you ever get direct messages from people on LinkedIn? So they connect with you and they send you a
Yes.
pitch.
Yeah, 100%. And we hate it, don't we? You know? And I've even said to people, yeah, happy to connect, just don't pitch slap me. And then they do still.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've even said to people, I'm really sorry, I'm sure what you've got is great, but actually I prefer to build relationships with people, I prefer to do business with people that I know, and then I invite them to Circle Networks.
And I think that's what people are conditioned to. So we don't like it when people send us a connection request and then pitch to us. But we're not with them, so we don't think anything more of it. We either just ghost them or block them or give them a short reply. But with networking, usually there's some form of membership. So we're in it and we're going to give it our best go. And we go networking and we try something and then it doesn't work. my approach, or our approach, that we encourage people to do is to build relationships. And like you say, there's a lot more that you can get to it from just clients. But usually what people come in for is because they're looking for clients. And I
Yeah,
think,
they've set up their business, they want money, they want clients, don't they?
yeah,
It's
yeah. But if I go networking and I pitch to the room and no one's interested in buying my thing today, then I've probably turned off the whole room. And
yes.
but if you deal with the same kind of people as me, so describe your clients, Gillian. What kind of people do you work with, and what do you do for them?
They're in professional services. They are stereotyped as boring. So they might be accountants, financial services, IT services, things like that, where they struggle to connect on that human level with their audience, and I help them to do that.
And you're a copywriter. That's your craft, if you like, a wordsmith, aren't you? And you're very good at getting into your client's head and expressing what they struggle to articulate in words. So if you were to go to an event and pitch, those people probably haven't gone there to buy that. They're going to turn off. You come away going, well, that was a waste of time. No one bought my stuff.
Yeah. You get
Whereas,
closed off to the other
yeah,
opportunities, don't you? Because you
yeah.
go with this single track mind.
So if we got to build relationships with people, which is what Circle Networks is all about. It's all about building relationships with people, helping people get to know people. And we start our events by encouraging people in small group discussions to talk about themselves outside of work first.
And it's amazing how many people stumble over that. I don't know. I'm really boring. And then they'll tell you some like amazing fact just off the cuff about themselves.
I think a lot of people put a mask on during the day, don't they? I'm in work mode. Put that uniform on today.
Yes,
My
and you're asking
personal
them to
life's
step.
personal.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry. But some of the best relationships we have is where we connect with the person first, and the business becomes a no-brainer afterwards, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah,
So,
because you trust them as a person.
so I think some of the people that do well build really good friendships first, and in some cultures, I think we're in the UK we're quite stiff upper lip. What's private's private. I'm just here in a business capacity, so I only want to talk business. Then there's those people who like to build relationships and get to know people first. And if I know, like, and trust you, then I'm more likely to introduce you to my best contacts. Because who do you want to meet, Jillian? Do you want to meet the people I've only just met that I don't know, or do you want to meet my best
Yeah,
connections?
exactly, exactly. And that's a really good point, actually, of these networks where there's pressure to refer, I think. And you're getting the wrong kind of introductions. I don't think that happens at Circle Networks because the relationships are built first.
Yeah. And I think if we have a little bit of a plan, so if you're new to networking, have a plan. It's very easy to get busy with activity with networking. And a lot of people say to me, it takes a lot of time. Oh my God, it takes so much time because you go networking, then you meet some people and you want to follow up with all those people. So you have loads of one-to-ones, is the general phrase for it. And nothing comes from that. What's your approach to this?
I think people think when they first go networking, I've got to have one-to-ones with everyone. Absolutely everyone in that room. I need to ask them for a one-to-one. I've got really, really picky. I don't do that many one-to-ones, to be honest. I call them different things. I actually call it a content clarity call now a lot of the time. I will still do the whole like, oh yeah, let's just have a chat. But generally I call it a content clarity call or a collaboration call, of course. But yeah, I just get much pickier. Can I see that they're my kind of person, first of all, not necessarily a client, but did I click with them? And therefore they're likely to have the right sort of people in their network.
And I think the way that we run events, we facilitate and fast track the getting to know process. So, for example, I might say that my dad, I've got 3 kids, 13, 19, 21. I've got a dog. I like getting out walking, Merlin. I like barbecues and gin and travel
Yorkshire tea. You forgot
and
Yorkshire tea.
Yorkshire tea. I do talk about that a lot, but people get to know me, don't they? So they know what I like and what perhaps, and if that's stuff that they don't like, well, I save people some time by not booking a meeting with me. And I think at traditional networking, and this is where I'm almost trying to distance ourselves from that. If someone just does their 60-second pitch, how do you
Yeah,
know if they're your kind of person or not?
yeah,
You've no idea about anything about them, so you have to give up probably an hour of your life to have a meeting or a coffee with somebody, virtual or in person, to find out that they're not the right fit.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
said to
You
people,
can
had to
tell a
have a
lot.
go on.
I was just gonna say you can tell a lot about people, like you say, in that 16 minutes, can't you? I think people's personality does come across quite a lot. You know, are they pushy? Are they hogging the time? What are they talking about? Are they engaging? You really can gauge quite well whether you
Yeah.
want to follow up.
It's been a while since we've actually networked together, but quite often when I'm in breakout rooms with people, I'm just quite happy to ask questions of other people. I'm don't feel the need that I need to tell people about myself. I'm there to meet other people and help other people. That kind of stuff can come afterwards because no one goes networking to buy anything. So why would I feel the need to do my pitch? I'm there to meet the right kind of people, and I want to ask questions. I want to find out if you're dealing with my kind of clients, because if you
Yeah,
do, then I can build a relationship with you outside of the event, after the event. And like you said, to become quite picky, are you someone that we could collaborate with in the future for mutual benefit? That's networking done right for me.
yes,
Um,
100%.
so if we just go networking to sell, then we struggle. So don't get me wrong, you can go networking, and someone might be at an event and they go, "Oh my god, really like Gillian. I like the way that she talks. I like the way that she thinks. I think that I might be a client of hers." And that does happen, but it's the exception rather than the norm.
It is, and do you know what? This is actually another trap I think people fall into that you've just made me realise. That tends to happen when you've got low ticket stuff. And I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I've had to come up with a cheaper offer that suits the people in the room. So I think that's actually another trap that people fall into. It's trying to get that sale from the room and therefore thinking I must have a low ticket offer rather than thinking, no, it's okay that I've got this higher ticket thing, but rethinking how you're going to get people onto that and not just sell to the room.
Yeah. So my advice to people is have a plan. Know what a good client is for you. Be able to teach other people what it is that you're looking for and how to spot them. But then they don't know anything about your business. They're not going to be able to make that introduction without your help. So I say to people, look, if you think you know someone that's a good fit for me, come and tell me after the event so that I can help you set up a meeting. I don't want an email. I said this quite a lot recently. Did you wake up this morning before networking and think, I'm going to go networking today. I hope I get some email introductions? That's how most people think that they pass a referral or an introduction, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely like the go-to, isn't it?
And I say to people, look, I don't want you to email an introduction for me.
Because you never check your inbox, Jamie.
Well, I hate emails, but it's just overwhelming. But they're boring, aren't they?
Yeah.
Usually, there's nothing exciting comes into our inbox. What I want is, I want people to get me a meeting. That's what I want. So if you think that you know someone that you can introduce me to, I'll give you my meeting booking link. I'll tell you what to say that might pique their interest. And then when you're speaking to them, say, I've got Jamie's meeting link here. Can I book you in? What day's good for you?
Yeah, because ultimately that's what happens anyway, isn't it? I've just had an email introduction this week and you email back, hey, do you want to book a call? They email back, yeah, let's book a call. Okay, do you want to link? And then you got all that kind of to and fro and time consuming stuff. Whereas, yeah, if that person had just gone, here's that person I said you should speak to, here's their booking link,
Yeah.
cuts out all the
Yeah. So it's a great way. So what I'm trying to do with this is to get people to think a little bit differently. So what if you changed your approach to networking? What if you went to build relationships, get clear on your ideal client, try and meet more people who can introduce you to your ideal clients, and then reciprocate. It's twice I've said that today. I used to really struggle with that word, but I really and then I go, oh, what goes around comes around. But I can say it now, 5 years later. But you want to be able to reciprocate with some people. So if you and I had if I wanted to work with professional services that felt they were a little bit boring, that struggle to articulate what they're doing, but I have a slightly different service, so I might build websites for them, for example. You could write the copy or manage their social media, and then I could help with the website for them. Then in theory, when I get a client, I should be able to bring you up in conversation and introduce you,
Yeah,
and vice versa.
yeah. That's where you get your little power teams going.
So the dream is not to go networking to get clients. That is almost a byproduct of building relationships with the right people. So if we take a step back for a minute and think about social media, a lot of people that we know that go networking post every day on social media. Do they get a client from it?
No, I keep talking about this a lot, but I think people do expect clients. Oh, social media doesn't work. I didn't get a client off my post. No, I've literally I had a content clarity call this morning with a guy, and I said to him, it's about micro conversions along that route. You don't go from buy my thing to getting a client. Like, there's this whole process in the middle where you nurture the relationship. Yeah, it's no different.
But it takes a strategy to know that. Whereas I think what a lot of people
Yes.
do, social media is free. I do it. I'm quite good at it. I enjoy it. I'm going to post, nothing. Not a client, but they still carry on doing it. For years, they will do it.
Yeah. Because they think it's not costing them anything, but it's costing them time.
Yeah. And they put a lot of time into it. And I know people that have been in LinkedIn pods and they've spent 2 or 3 hours a morning every day on that stuff. Still
Yeah.
not get, but my visibility is huge. I'm like, but is it generating clients for you in the long? No.
Yeah.
So if you had a strategy for it, for your networking, that it fit in as part of a bigger marketing strategy, so that perhaps what if the stuff that you talked about and posted on social media, you brought in so that your networking aligned with that? Because I was speaking to somebody, Kat Woolrich, that you know, this morning, and in the past it used to be that we needed 7 touches. People used to need to see or hear our stuff 7 times before they
Those
reacted.
were the days, eh?
She said this morning it's about 50 times now that people need to see something. So if you go networking and somebody meets you once and they don't buy from you, or they don't pass you a referral or an introduction, well, you're kind of missing the point here. We live in a very busy, distracted world, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a long-term strategy. So if you took a more strategic approach for your networking and built really good relationships, and you're part of it, and this is where I see circle networks getting a bit clearer at how we talk about what we do, that you build a network that helps you get what you're looking for, and you bypass, like the gym. I've been going to the gym for 9 months now. Have I seen the results that I want yet? No. Do I know that I need to keep going? Yes. And I know that the weird bit is, I know that if I stop, it's going to be really hard to get going again.
Yeah.
And I see
Yeah.
people start with their networking all the time.
Yes. Yeah. Or chop and change. There's definitely that category of people that see it as a temporary thing. Yeah, I'll do this network for a bit. They're like
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
connection gatherers, aren't they? I'm just going to collect people. I'm not going to do anything with them. I'm just going to collect them.
So that brings me on to the next bit. I think a lot of people want to go to a networking event and meet 20 or 30 people and then go away and do the follow-ups with them. Whereas I encourage people to have a goal. And my goal when I go networking is to meet one good person. There might be 20 people there might be 200. I just want to meet one good person, because I'm not going to go away and just have one meeting with them. I used to do that in my old networking. I'd have lots of one-off one-to-ones with people, but now I want to build long-term relationships with people. So that in my head means I'm probably going to have 5 or 6 meetings with somebody in order to start to build a good relationship with them. After that, it maybe doesn't take as much time to maintain that relationship, but initially it's going to be 5 or 6 meetings. I can only do that with 1 or 2 people from a networking event. So I'm going to build a really good relationship with 1 or 2 people. And then I want to get to know who they know. And I don't know if you found this. I see people and they'll look at you and go, yeah, but Gillian, she's a copywriter. I don't deal with copywriters. She's never going to buy my stuff. And I'm like, right, okay, so who does Gillian know? What do you mean? Well,
Yeah,
have you asked her where she used to work? What social circles she's in? What location she's in? What industry? No,
yeah,
no, no. And you might
yeah,
know all the right people. And I demonstrated this on LinkedIn at Circle Networks last night using LinkedIn, and we had someone called Bryony on, and her ideal client is a recruitment business, and so we had a very specific search that we got everybody at the event to search for in LinkedIn on their first degree connections to see if people knew, and I knew 3 people that fit her category,
yeah,
and I
exactly.
said to her, I said, now you just need to tell me what to say to these people because I don't know. She's got quite a niche business, and that's the bit. So like we need to nurture a relationship so that you know me well enough so that you would feel comfortable doing something to help me,
Yeah,
and then I need to teach you, share with you, or show you what to do in order to be able to open a door for me. And I don't just want an email. That's the bit I definitely
noted.
don't want. But I don't. I want you to set up a meeting for me with somebody. I want you to be an appointment setter for me. But I want a very warm introduction so that when I do meet somebody, they go, "Oh, Jamie, I've heard so much about you. I'm really interested in whatever it is. The thing, it could be our conference. That's we've talked about that. So it could be. I've heard all about the Circle Networks live in September. Really interested. Can you tell me a bit more? Jillian's mentioned that there's some training included in it. Okay, it's a warm introduction. They're asking me, they know what it is. I should just be able to explain a little bit more and then ask them if they'd like to go.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
on the receiving end of this at the moment, aren't you? Someone's doing that for you in professional services.
Yes, yeah. I've got that little power team going. Yeah, the marvelous Phil Davenport, bless him, who I met through Circle Networks, and just hit it off on a personality. Just he was great fun, great laugh. We just got on really, really well. And then I did a bit of work for him. And then now, 18 months since I first met him. So, not instant because he was like, I want to get to know you. I'm not going to refer you to these people if you're rubbish. So, yeah, now 18 months on, I've got 3 retainers because of it. Well, 4 actually. He referred me to one of his clients a year ago. And now he's brought on some people in his peer group. Yeah. So,
So, and
because we hit it off.
that's taken a long-term
Yeah.
approach to building relationships.
Yeah, and keeping in touch, when it wasn't immediately easy. I think that's the other thing when people bump into people at meetings and they think that's enough. But I've made sure to continue that relationship with him outside of networking.
So let's wrap this up then. So the networking trap, go in networking looking for clients. Feeling like you have to be busy and getting busy. Sometimes we are encouraged. You need to go to lots of events. You need to have lots of one-to-ones with people. I disagree with that. You need to have a strategy for this. And once you get crystal clear on what you're looking for, and it takes a bit of time, doesn't it? What you're looking for
Yeah.
now is not what you looked for 2.5 years ago, is it?
It's taken almost 4 years, yeah, to arrive at this.
Yeah. And I think we're on a journey, and that's what I'm trying to explain to people, that Circle Networks is a business community that supports business owners on their journey. Yes, on day one, you might be looking for clients, and we can help you with that. But you've grown as a person, you've grown massively in confidence. I think you were about 6 months old as a business when you first, 6 or 7 months old, something like that.
Yeah, I think I'd done the course in the summer, took my first paying client in November, and joined Circle Networks in the March. So
Yeah.
really, really green around the gills.
And you've built relationships with people across the country. In fact, one of your best friends now lives up in the Scottish Highlands, and you're down
Yeah.
in Somerset, aren't you?
Yeah. And you know what? She's coming down to Somerset before the conference so that we're going to travel up to the conference together. She's actually flying to Somerset.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to being in a network than just going network.
Definitely. And you get
That's
so much more out of it when you
yeah.
broaden your view of what you want from it.
Yeah. So you don't have to go networking to pitch. Go networking to build relationships. Build good relationships with people, and then they can work out how science is it.
It's not. And then it's fun as well because nobody likes pitching, do they? Nobody, I've never heard anyone, oh, I love a 60-second pitch. I love delivering them. I love listening to them. You just know, no, it's a total snooze fest, isn't it?
Yeah. But you think about when a friend rings you up. So you might be in the middle of some work. So you're doing paid client work, and one of your friends rings you up. What do? You stop the paid work to answer a friend. You say, "Hi, how are you doing? How can I help you? What can I do to help?" So we'll stop doing paid work to help a friend out. Somebody else posted today, they never joined Circle Networks because they were looking for more friends, but they've been overwhelmed with the friendships that they've made and what a difference it's made to their business.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what.
definitely. Yeah, I definitely feel the same.
All right. Right. So we've got a series of episodes coming here. I'm just looking through the notes. The next one that we're going to do is on why solo doesn't scale. So this is going to become a bit of a series that we're going to do these in. So the next one coming out is why solo doesn't scale. I love that because when I first started my business, I thought I had to do everything. And then life changed. Thank you very much, Gillian. Look forward
Thank
to doing
you.
the next episode.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening. Hey.